Hello and welcome back to another review of me, Kevin, from Kevin Grant on Whiskey. This week I've got another new bottle which has been gifted to me just for sampling, not for mine to keep unfortunately, but it's this Uncharted Whisky Company 14-year-old Fetterciarn, but otherwise known as the Brown Eyed Girl. So this is a cask strength Highland whisky, independent bottler, as I say, Uncharted Whisky Company, founded in 2020, founded by Jack and Dana, two people I know really well. It's people I actually worked with in my old job at the Scottish Gantry. These guys have an unfounded amount of knowledge on the full drinks industry, not just whiskey, wine, gin, everything. And I know there's a passion there as well. So it's a company that I know people behind it, and they're not just here just to try to make money. They're here to make really good whiskey and top quality. I know what the palate's like, so I'm expecting big things. So I've not tried this yet. It's been in the glass for a little bit just now. I've came back into the room and it is definitely filling the room a little bit. It's unpeated, cask strength. We're sitting here at 53.3%, and it has been finished in first fill Pedro Jimenez casks. So the colour there is stunning. I think that's where the name Brown Eyed Girl comes from. With the Uncharted Whisky Company, they do name all their whiskies after certain songs and things. It's kind of this more kind of fun aspect to it, which you can relate to. I think songs and whiskey can definitely go hand in hand. There's sometimes you drink a whiskey and you get this kind of a tune on in the background, or just kind of takes you to a little moment. I do see on the side here, I'm trying to hold it, there is tasting notes, which I don't want to be reading just now. I want to kind of go off my own accord. So what I was able to find out about this as well is it was first fill, it was in a bourbon cask to start, and it has been finished in a Pedro Jimenez first fill. I'm not sure how long. Maybe glancing by the colour and looking at maybe industry and how these things happen, I'm going to suggest maybe 6 months to a year. But it looks absolutely stunning. So we're looking at Highland Whisky, Fetterciarn. Fetterciarn has got this kind of cool background that they put in a cooling ring in the 50s, I think it was. So that's like, when you look at the still, there's this big silver part, this big steel bit. And what it does is water comes down from it, condenses and catches itself in like a little turret at the bottom and goes back up and round again, just like maybe a fountain. You know, it goes down and it just reuses the same water source. It keeps it cool, giving it a bit more contact in the internal side of it, and then you make spirit. So it should be lighter and fruity, but from trying Fetterciarn previously, I get meaty, I get bold, I get in your face. So from this here, with PX being very sweet, and Fetterciarn kind of on its own DNA being meaty and robust from the last cask strength I had, I think it was a whiskey broker I had. We'll see. But let's get this on the nose. Let's see what we do, then we'll get it on the palate. Got some water here as well because of the strength of it, and we'll just see how we get on. So let's see. Colour wise, it is absolutely stunning. Hopefully you can, the legs on it as well. So let's see. Oh, it's really, there's a kind of meaty note there, but there's a very nice front flavour, kind of apricot jam, maybe a little chocolatey note. Got that sweetness there, but it's kind of apricot jam led for me. A little bit chocolatey. There's a kind of heathery note as well coming through. It's got that kind of, what would I say, like leather note to it. We'll get this on the palate, but yeah, apricotty, chocolate, leather, meaty, sweet. Let's see what we do. We'll slange you, everyone. That's really good. A kind of meatiness stays there. Chewy, luscious. That apricot still sticking, but it's following in with those more juicy red fruits, the plum, a little bit of date. It's plummy now, just that really jammy, plummy, chewy. And the heaviness I think that I'm getting from it is more the mouthfeel. It's a really long-lasting, stunning mouthfeel. I'll take a wee second just to go back. The bottle is very unique. It's something you don't ever see. I think it's one of the nicest bottles out there, independent-wise anyway. And 53.3, I think that pH really, you do not taste that alcohol. The pH really mellows it out. It's thick, it's syrupy, it's a lot of juicy notes in there. And on the nose, it's just that there's a sweetness there that I'm trying to get to. Chocolatey leather, apricot, heather, a little bit meaty, syrupy. Yeah, it's stunning. Very, very good. So I did reach out to Jack. I says, Jack, I've been given this and I'm going to give it an honest review. And he trusts that I'll give it an honest review. So I am, and it's absolutely great so far. I've added a wee bit of water in here to see what it does. That's still there. It's really chewy. Very, very mouth-filling and sits well. A little bit to say, it's non-chill filtered natural colour, and I think you can see that by the legs on it here and how long it's lasting on the palate. As I say, you don't get that big 53%er. It does taste a little bit less, and I think that's because of the quality of the PX and first fill PX as well, so you're getting a lot of big, bold, juicy flavours. Yeah, it's great. So Brown Eye Girl, I'm suspecting, is because the colour of it. It's kind of browny. You lock eyes onto it, it's happy, it's a good song as well. I'll give you that, Jack. Dana, it's a good song. So I like that. 14 years old. Wee bit of water, I'm going to add a tad bit more. And you start seeing that intertwining with itself. So, a little bit of water, we'll see how this is going to, if it's going to open up, is it going to dilute anything, is it going to bring me any other flavours through? It's definitely lighter now there. The more forefront of that kind of heathery apricot is taking the kind of meatiness off it a little bit. Maybe I'm just more used to that now. Last one, and we'll go back to giving it a final taste and final nosing. Plummy, jammy, chocolate, leather. Not much spice at all. It's just more juicy, really juicy. There's a sweetness there, it's not overly sweet. The balance is great. Syrupy. It hangs about. I feel like you're chewing on it. I'm constantly trying to keep that flavour alive. It's not one you have to keep revisiting for the flavour. It's so bold, it's so pungent, it's so nice. It's just a really good PX. I love PX as well. That's another thing. I do really enjoy PX. And knowing how heavy that last Fetterciarn had, I think they're actually the same age, is the DNA is there. The DNA of the Fetterciarn is definitely there, but that little time and the PX has been great. Price wise, it's £77 for this 14-year-old. I think they are only limited numbers, and from my last check, I don't think there's any left. So again, maybe single cast stuff that they're getting. They're only getting X amount, but they're putting quality in there. Fill from one single ex-sherry hogshead cask as well, so yeah, it's just getting put into that, and then they're just bottling it. It's great stuff. Nice bottle, cracking liquid, £77. Potentially, would that be the only grudge? It's a little bit more, but it's independent. You're paying for a good bottle, quality PX. Would I pay that? I probably would, yeah. It's one I'm not going to get my hands on. I know that because it's gone by checking, but there's constantly some good stuff coming out by the looks of it. I think they've actually got a Lefroy in there. And I think the latest bottle is potentially a Loch Lomond, if I check properly, and something like You Take the High Road, which again, kind of really good. Listen to songs, and I'll be in Loch Lomond before you, so there's a lot of kind of cool quirkiness to it. I really like it, and if I could get a bottle, I probably would buy one. I could nose this for days. I'm really going to do that. I think I'm going to go back. You know what I'm going to do now? So this goes out, it's Friday. Today is Tuesday, but it's Friday. So Friday's my birthday. So this is my birthday dram, shall we say. And it's been really good. Really enjoyed it. Ben, if you're watching, I'll get this back to you. I'll try not to take too much more, but it is good stuff. Really good liquid. Jack Daniel, you've done a fantastic job. Great brand. Everything about it's cracking it. I know you guys are going to go far and continue on with really good bottles, and I'm seeing it out there in the wild as well, which is good to see. So I'll raise a glass to you guys to say slange for all your hard work and quality whiskey. But as always, I'm going to sit back, enjoy this, smell it some more, taste it some more, get this back to Ben before I drink it all. But as always, I've been Kevin from Kevin Grant on Whiskey. Join me next week. Let's talk whiskey. Slange.